Hey, what's up guys, it's X here back with another Raid Shadow Legends videos, and today we're going to talk about CVC, also known as Clan vs Clan, as the title mentions. This game mode within Raid Shadow Legends is a bi-weekly mode alongside Siege, which we'll do in another video, which basically you compete against other clans, earn as many points as possible, and get rewards for the points you've earned. Every once a month you get personal rewards as well, so as long as you hit a certain amount of points yourself, you will get these extended rewards, so such as, you know, shards, books, chickens, that sort of thing. Yeah, there we go. Oh, let's close that off. Now, just for a couple of disclaimers for the video, you know, this video is for the average Joe playing Raid Shadow Legends. You know, none of those whales out there or Krakens spending all this money in the game, getting all the books and everything like that, you know, just the, you know, minor spender, or even just the free-to-play people that are just looking to score more points overall, according obviously going over the course of the
Today, Junior?
pardon me there, course of the CVC time frame. Sections in this list, I'd say all personal experience in the game. Obviously, depending on what point in the game you are at, you might have different sections which give you the most points. So to start with, got a couple of honorable mentions. So you got the arena. Arena is an essential part of the game. You know, as you're building up your playtime, you're building up your great haul, getting all those lovely additional bonus stats, which then eventually means if you're going for specific numbers on champions, then you can yield less coming from the artifacts that you're using and more from the Great Hall instead. So, you know, you get the additional accuracy, you get the additional resistance, attack, crit damage, HP, defense, whatever your champion needs for the damage or survivability, it comes from there. And with Arena, that gives you the medals to do so. So obviously, like for example, a level 4 to level 5 upgrade, 250 gold medals. I'm still in the process of building everything up. My next phase, I'm going along as HP, and then I'm going to do res, and then attack, and then this is just because I'm doing stuff that benefits everyone. So if I do HP then res, and I know that all champions have that stats, and in here depends on whether a damage deal or whether they're surviving. So I'm leaving that for afterwards. The next one is the Iron Twins. So the reason I haven't included the Iron Twins, I'll do a quick run whilst I'm talking here, just so I can show you. The Iron Twins itself, it does give you a decent amount of points, you know, 400 points per battle on the max level. The issue I have with it is that you only get 6 keys to do it a day. And, you know, if you're not up early enough for the 3rd day, that means you're only using 12 instead of 18. Along with that, it also costs 20 energy per run, which, you know, you could be using that energy elsewhere. You know, that's 120 a day, 360 in total. That 360 energy could be 10 runs on campaign farming and give you more points if you're doing champion leveling at the same time. You know, it just doesn't seem fair to put it in the list, especially compared to the other options on this list, you know. But all in all, I mean, it does still give you some points. So it's still 2400 per day, or 4800 if you're going to use gems to go for the extra runs. That's why I got really confused there. Why I got 800 points for that one is because the Iron Twins are on a double. If it's not double, I mean, you have more chance of doing it. So I mean, I'll go 4800 for a day, or 9 grand in a day. If you want to use gems on it, so I mean, it's not bad. I mean, albeit it does give you stones as well to use it here, and which then you can pull them and get more points for. But going off that point, 2 things I'm not going to mention at all is soul stones and shards. Now, the reason I'm not mentioning either of these is both of them can be hard to obtain, at least decent ones. You know, mortal soul stones quite easily get, you know, stack up a lot of them. Immortal a little bit harder, but eternal was like next to minimal, and eternal are the only ones that you're really going to get point scorers from. But on that, it's also because the likelihood you're going to get something good, especially from shards, you know, even on progressive chance, I did get lucky in my pool, but you know, on the last video, there was a 2x on voids. I think I opened up 200. I did get 2 legendaries, but you know, that's 2 legendaries. I had 200 shards. You know, it's just the numbers aren't worth it trying to pull them during a CVC. I'd personally leave them for a Summoner's Rush or Champ Chase. Then that way you can also utilize it to get other things in the game, such as Soul Stones, books, and stuff like that. Which then you'll be able to, 1, level your champions, get awakenings, that sort of thing, but also 2, get more points from them as well, because they are guaranteed points, like books, guaranteed points. Alright, so in 5th, I'm saying hard dungeons. Now, the reason I say hard dungeons is, let's take Spider for example. Very quick run, all you need is a team just to completely wipe out all the spiders, right? Super raid it, give it a go. I think it's about 30 seconds per run. And that gives you 800 points per run. Now, not only that, you get the chance of mythical artifacts, which then you can put towards other things in the game, put them towards champions, you know. The only thing is that sometimes the mythical items you get aren't good. So I would say, I personally never sell the mythicals, but if you do get a bad one, all you need to do is re-roll it. If it's bad, then sell it. Simple as. But, I mean, just wait for this run to finish now. I think it actually turns out it was longer than 30 seconds. Our best is 33, that's why they get 800 points. Get the items. I don't want any rares, so I'll sell them. But you get the point here. It's 800 points. I think that's across the board as well. Obviously, again, that is not including anything here that's 2x points. Finite is 2x points, but the issue is I don't want to run it because I don't have good enough demon spawn teams. So I'm just skipping that one. It doesn't give you anything too decent anyway, so yeah. But hard dungeons, always say, easy point getters, can be quick as well. If you've got a quick team for them, I would say on a last minute rush like we done last time, we had like 4 people running hard dungeons for the last hour, and then we managed to win that one. So that's the reason why it's number 5. It's probably, again, personal experience. Used it to get a lot of points. Can't complain about it. Now, in 4th is the Forge. Now, the brilliant thing about the Forge is it's a way to get points and silver. So, in the Forge, use these different materials. Using the materials, you can use them to create artifacts. Now, as you can see here, you get all these different artifacts. Obviously, I've done the Forge Pass, so I've got a lot of this stuff as well, which I haven't done yet. But let's say you got this, boom, run these in it. 2,000 points. Now, the best part about this is, look at it. Oh, okay, I don't need that. Oh, actually, I have to type something, I'll leave that. Actually, I want a defense, so I'll get rid of that. Oh, look. That boots, don't need them. Don't need them. Sell them all. There you go, all sold. But the other thing about it is, I would never sell mythical from here again. The other thing about it is, let's say you can do a load of crafting. Once you're done crafting, go to here, just new, and you can filter it out from here. I don't think, yep, here you go. So if I wanted to, I could just go. Oop. There you go. That's if I didn't, like, I personally don't use Defiant that often, but if you did want to do it, you can run through and do that. Now, 2,000 points per pool, you know, I've, like, for example, just over time where I really don't use the Forge that often, if I go back onto Defiant here, I've got 310 rank charms and 229 rarity charms. I could spam these out and just get thousands and thousands and thousands of points. So, you know, you're talking maybe 25,000 on a good run. Actually, let's say out of 9 pulls, you probably end up with like 18,000, which again is just points for nothing, because then you sell it, get the silver, and then use the silver to do the next thing. on the list. Well, actually, no, not the next thing, sorry. Sorry, not the next thing. You can use the silver to do something that is also on this list later on. I've just checked the notes and it's definitely not on the next one, but still. The next one on the list actually is Faction Wars. Faction Wars is a really good way to get points, albeit the issue is why it's not higher up on the list. It is technically free, but you're limited. You only can do up to 18 keys per faction a day, which across that is 36, which means you can get 4 super raid boss runs on here. But each boss run itself, which I do one, I did leave enough keys just for this video. I run this now and let's run, but each boss run itself is 1,000 points. So if you're super raiding it, it's 2,000 points per run, 4,000 points per faction, 8,000 points across 2. Now with that, you also are left over with 2 keys, which I think if you do a 2 key one, I could be incorrect with this one. I need to actually double check, which I will after the fact, because I'm pretty sure it tells you. We should be getting 300 to 500 points as well on the 2, which means do that again, you got an extra 1,000. So in total, you're ending up with 9,000. Actually, no. 9,000. Let's call it just 9,000, just short a day. Again, times it by 3, 30,000. All in all, so far, all these different things that you could be doing, you know, you are, well, obviously hard dungeons does cost a little bit of silver, so if we leave that out, but the forge, respectively, let's call it 36,000. Faction wars each day, call that another 10,000, and then total you're ending up with lost my count now, 63,000. So that alone is 63,000 points, and that's not even spending any energy, any gems, possibly not even any silver. You know, that is all just free features in the game, and that's still 60,000 points. So I mean, if you're not getting 60,000 points, or even let's say 50,000, if you're not getting 50,000 points, play the safe bet. I'm going to be questioning if you're doing these runs. Like I said, they're free, albeit I get it's different stages in the game. You might not be able to finish the faction that's on that day. There's a couple factions which I'm still finishing, but I was just late to it. I've really knuckled down on it all, and I've started finishing other factions. But wholesomely, you know, not everyone's going to be at the same point of the game. They won't be able to finish a faction. So that brings us to the next one: leveling champs and books. I personally level champs through campaign. I hardly ever use this section here. Obviously I do it if I'm in a stick for energy at the time, but you know, I got 6 mega barrels. You know, I just done my Cleopatra's up to 6. I leveled her manually. I manually ran through and just let it do it, because the issue is you're getting points through campaign farm as well. Why would you give that up? It's like 160 per super raid nightmare run, and then on top of that, if you have a campaign objective that's doubled, or if you that's champion, sorry, campaign objective that's doubled, if you have a champion objective that's doubled as well, you're getting double the points for. There's no reason to give up, because you can also get champions, get artifacts, get silver, go into the next thing. You know, it just doesn't make sense to not do it through campaign unless you strictly do not have the energy. If you don't have the energy, upgrade them through the tavern, get the points through that way. But whilst you're in the tavern, make sure you upgrade the ranks of the champions that you don't want. Using champions you don't want. Don't get rid of anything that you're using that's good. Now the next thing is upgrade skills. So if I take Blood God for example, I haven't booked him. Let me see if I've got a champ that I actually want to book. I'm using him in my faction balls. I'll book. Yeah, I'll book him. Thorogum. We'll start with actually mythical books. So if you have a mythical that's not booked and you have books for him, book them. 4,000 points a book. Double it, 8,000. What's not to like there? You have the books, you get a champion that's got upgraded skills, and you get 4,000 points. Same with legendary. Legendaries is 3,000. 3,000 points a book used on a legendary. Now, the only thing I'm going to say to be cautious of is don't use mythical books on legendaries unless you have an absurd amount of mythical books, which I would question how you got them. I've saved up 14 because I went for memories. I've been saving that for months. It takes ages to get mythical books. These ones come like flies. So in this video, I'm not going to use my mythical books because that makes sense. The point is assigned to the champion that you're leveling. So if I level a rare with a legendary book, I still only get 500 points. If I level a legendary with a mythical book, I still only get 3,000 points. So use them on the levels that you are trying to level. So here you go. How many do I need for Esme? That's 10, a little bit short there. But let's take Torgon. Take that, book it up. So 3 times 8, 24,000. Ready? Boom. 24,000 points. On a champion objective, that'd be 48,000 if doubled. That's an insane amount of points. Here we go. Look, actually, let's do Esme because I'm pretty sure I will use. Oh no, she's barbarian. I won't need her. Blood Gorge. She's undead. I'm trying to think about my factions here. Sorry. Okay, Bad Owl. Bad Owl. Can't go problem with that. Boom, get rid of them. And let's go for one on Esme as well. I have got a second Esme. I pulled her by accident. There we go. Boom. Right there, we saw is 48,000 points. Just from books. And then work your way down to go to epics. Have I got any 6-star? I've got plenty of 6-star epics I need to. I don't know, 6-star. Oh, it's just epics. So let's take an epic for example. Yeah, plus 400. Boom. Booked. 1,000 points per book. That there's 13,000 points. And I have a champion for faction wars. Like again, going back to it, if you haven't completed it already, you know, everything's just there. Just realised he's hidden, but I'll level him up because he's got plus and he's got 5-star on him, which I'm pretty sure the other one's got 4-star. You know, it's just loads of points, and then I don't really have any rares I want to keep. That's my issue. Oh, actually, there you go. There's there. Boom. He's finished. Keep Lazer now, whilst I'm here. Boom. There you go. 500 points a book. Get loads of rares. You get loads of rare books. You can get them from different places. You know, you can get them from here, up in the clan shop. Oh, get that boy shop, what's the name? Up in the clan shop. So I'm a fiend for it. Or you can get them, here we go, in arena, get to the bazaar. Rares get terms there, or if you're in a silver, you can get epics as well. And then I think, yeah, you can get legendaries if you're in gold. I'm still working my way up in the arena. I kind of blew that one off to the side. But it's all there, you know. Just then I made a stupid amount of points. I would have made close to 60,000 there on books alone. Leveling the champions, I could have made probably, I think, actually, how many have I got? That's not that. Can I see? I can't see how many points I've done. Where? I've done 700,000 points. I'm just curious about where I've actually put the points into. But I've done, let's say, probably about 100,000, 150,000 in just champion leveling alone. I've done a lot because I've been trying to get a lot more level 6s out my champions. But I mean, whilst I'm doing the leveling, I'm getting all the silver. Whilst I'm getting all the silver, you know what I can do with the silver? Gear upgrading. That's the next point on this. Gear upgrading is, if you're not even upgrading gear, why? Because look, I'm gonna go to accessory. I'm gonna set it to mythical. Upgrade it. That's only a 5-star, so I get 1,800 points, I think. 1260. There we go. Or if we find a 6-star, here goes a 6-star. Boom. 1890. I think that's 6. Yeah, that's 6. There you go. 1890 points per upgrade, which you're also upgrading your mythicals. It doesn't make sense not to, because you put them on champions, you build your champions. Once you build your champions, you can do faction wars, you can do campaign farming, you can do whatever else you want to do. I personally level mythical and legendary straight to 16, epics to 12, and I don't really get rares anymore. But if I do, then it's 8. I just put them on 8. I just want to see what they get out of just out of the bat. 2,000 points. again, you get all the bonuses from the outside of it. That's why it's first on my list, because you build in all areas of the game, which then allow you to get those additional points. And also you have the champions that build, or even the artifacts to build champions in the future. It's a brilliant thing. That way anyway. But out of curiosity, one thing I want to ask is, what do you guys think you get the most points out of when you're doing a CVC? Obviously this was my list. Champion leveling, gear upgrading. Just yesterday we fell behind. I got 100,000 points in gear leveling. Instantly. There was no delay on it. Instantly. So that's the reason why it's number 1 on my list. But I'm curious to say, what is your number 1s? Where do you find you get the most points? If you leave that in the comments, I'll be happy to look through them. Happy to revise the list. Even put a comment in there saying that I am wrong if I think that your point is valid over the list that I've said. I'm not saying it's not valid for mine. Obviously, again, this is all subjective. Where you are in the game is a strong factor in this. If you're not end game, if you're not, like, I'm gonna say mid game, end game is probably where I'm at right now, or late mid game. You know, I'm not a Kraken. I've not mastered every single point. I haven't got a 3-second Phantom Shogun team, but I'm not falling behind. I'm not still trying to find places where I can fit champions and do stuff like that. Yes, there is points in the game which I have highly focused on, like Hydra. I've highly focused on, you know, 1.2 on average. I get about 1.8. These were all just quick runs, but I might get like 1.8 billion somewhere along those lines. And then on the other ones, you know, Chimera, I'm still learning it as we go. But I am getting 1.6 billion there. You know, I focus on other points. Demon Lord, I've cleared up. But obviously, I've in that arena. I've started focusing on, but with that tag team arena, I kind of let loose on. Same with faction wars. Never really done faction wars, but now that I need Lydia because I want Lydia for my Chimera to build it up, I'm now focusing on this. It all adds together. That's what I'm trying to say. But obviously, I'd still love to hear about what points you're at in the game and also what your personal CVC scores are. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if this one's gone on a little bit longer than anticipated, but I hope to catch you in the next one. Cheers.